Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever looked at a sacred text and wondered if there's something more hiding just beneath the surface? Well, today we're diving into a really fascinating theory that claims the Quran has a profound mathematical code woven right into its structure, a kind of cosmic cipher.
I mean, think about it for a second. The Quran has exactly 114 chapters. It specifically names 25 prophets. The number 7 shows up over and over again. Now, are these just random numbers, or could they be clues pointing to a deliberate, even divine, design? That's the huge question we're going to explore.
So, where does this idea come from? The main source for this incredible claim is the work of a man named Tamujani Yusuf. He proposes that the Quran isn't just a book for spiritual guidance, but that it's actually a meticulously designed divine program. The whole argument is that its structure reflects the kind of mathematical precision we find in the universe itself.
Okay, let's get into it. Our search for this code starts with what believers call numerical miracles. The idea that certain numbers in the text aren't just there by chance, but are a form of proof all on their own.
Now, there's a specific term for this concept, ijaz adadi. And what that really means is numerical miracles. It's the core theory that the mathematical patterns found all through the Quran are just so consistent, so complex, that they must be evidence of a divine author, not a human one.
So the easiest place to start, the most accessible entry point into this whole theory, is a number we all recognize as significant across cultures, the number 7. In the context of the Quran, its appearance is seen as incredibly frequent and deeply meaningful. And here's how the theory connects the dots. The word for heavens? It appears exactly 7 times. This perfectly mirrors the Quran's own description of 7 layers of heaven. And get this, the very first chapter, the opening one, al-Fatiha, is built on exactly 7 verses. Proponents of the theory look at this kind of repetition and say, see, that's a foundational clue. All right, so moving beyond the number 7, the theory says there's a core code, and it's built on 2 really foundational numbers, 1 and 19. These are presented as the keys to unlocking the entire system. First up, we have the number 1. And within this framework, 1 isn't just another digit, no way. It's the mathematical anchor for the single most important concept in all of Islam. The number 1 is presented as the mathematical symbol of Tawhid, that central Islamic belief in the absolute, indivisible oneness of God. The thinking goes like this. Just as the number 1 is the origin of all other numbers, the oneness of God is the origin of all creation. It's a really powerful parallel. Now for the second number. And this one is a bit more complex, a little more mysterious, the number 19. According to the theory, this prime number is the structural key, the master key to the entire Quran. So the main argument here is structural. The Quran has 114 chapters, or surahs, and that total, 114, is a perfect multiple of 19. It's exactly 19 times 6. For proponents, this is not a coincidence. It's a deliberate mathematical signature left by the author. And proponents say there's textual proof for this right in the book itself. They point to a specific Quranic verse that says, "Over it are 19." They read this not just as a literal statement, but as a divine signpost, pointing to just how important that number is to the book's design.
Building on all of that, the theory then lays out its most systematic element, something it calls the Pentagon System. This is a framework that suggests a perfect geometric organization for all the prophets mentioned in the Quran. This Pentagon System is built on the number 5, and that number is fundamentally important in Islam because it corresponds directly to the 5 pillars. These are the core duties for every single Muslim. The system then builds from that number 5 all the way to the number 25. And this isn't just a random leap. 25 is hugely significant because it's the exact number of prophets that are explicitly named in the Quran.
And here's the mathematical link the theory proposes. You take the 5 pillars, you square that number, and you get 25 prophets. This forms a perfect 5x5 grid, the so-called Pentagon System, which elegantly combines the faith's core practices with the lineage of its messengers. It's presented as this beautiful, self-contained system. Now, of course, a theory this profound, this sweeping, is not without its share of debate. So in this final section, we're going to take a step back and look at the arguments for and against this whole mathematical interpretation.
So on one hand, you have critics who often dismiss these patterns as just numerology or confirmation bias, that very human tendency to find patterns in random data. But on the other hand, the source material pushes back. It says this isn't about telling the future. It's meant to be a kind of scientific proof designed to inspire tadabbur, which is a deep, meaningful reflection on the text's incredible complexity.
The search for sacred codes isn't unique to this one theory. The source itself points to very similar traditions in other Abrahamic faiths. You have gematria in Judaism, where numbers represent big concepts like life. And you see systems in Christianity that highlight numbers like 7 and 12 to signify divine perfection. So this impulse to find meaning in numbers is a pretty widespread idea.
Ultimately, the entire theory really comes down to this one powerful idea, which is captured perfectly in this quote from its author. The argument is that the complexity of the code itself isn't even the main point. It's meant to point to the greatness of the one who designed the code in the first place.
And that, right there, leaves us with the final, and I think most fascinating question. Is this mathematical structure a genuine miracle, the ultimate proof of divine authorship? Or is it a powerful testament to the incredible pattern-seeking ability of the human mind? That's something for you to think about. Thanks for joining The Explainer.